Hello and welcome to the Should You Buy for the Uziel, one of the new mechs coming with the 3060 tech. We're going to go over the mech, its hardpoints, its hitbox locations that we can guess from its art, also some example builds, and if any particular variant is too powerful or not, or if there's any pay to win or pay to optimize with the hero or the reinforcements. But let's go through the mech here. First off, just taking a look at it. The Uziel. It is like the poster boy, for me, of MechWarrior 4. It was everywhere in that game. You fought as it, you fought against it. I think it looks great. We're going to pop down here and start looking at some of its stats. Now, we have the stats for all the other mechs. I'll put them in their own videos. But we can see here we get 3 standard Uziel variants, 3 mech bays, a Warhorn cockpit item for standing and hanging, a title and a badge for the standard pack of $20. Interesting to note, this is different from the previous packages. This is a $20 standard pack, but it doesn't come with a month of premium. So that actually lowers the value that comes from this package. The collector's package is $40 and includes the 3 standard variants plus a special of the Uziel 3S, and has the 30 days of premium time, where previously this would have 60 days of premium time. So they have cut down on premium time for these packages. Very interesting. I'm not sure exactly why they've done that, but it has been happening, and I want to make sure that I passed it along. Same pricing structure here. We've got the $20 for the standard pack, the $40 for the collector's pack, and then you have Hero for $15 and the 2 reinforcements for $15. But moving down here, let's look at the mech specs. We have, let me just position this nicely. There we go, we can see everything. The Uziel is a 50-ton inner sphere battle mech. It's got an XL300 engine as its stock engine, which allows it to have a massive 390 for a maximum engine rating. It doesn't have an ECM on any of its variants, and doesn't have mask on any of their variants, but it has 6 jump jets pretty much across the mech. Yep, a max of 6, even though there's only 5 that is currently equipped for the 6P. Let's pop over here into the spreadsheet warrior, and I'm on the wrong page. Alright, here we go. The Uziel. Now, I have a crap ton of stuff right here for the Uziel, and that is because there is the new light fusion engines that are coming in with the 3060 tech. And oh geez, I tried to zoom that in and it didn't work. Excuse me as I play with that. There we go. That's about as big as I can make it for you guys. So the mech is 50 tons, but I wanted to show off what the different engines could be for this mech. Now, we only know that lights are coming, like light engines. We don't know exactly what their weights are going to be, but we do know from lore that they are halfway in between XLs and standards. So I've just mathematically done that. I've taken the difference between standard and XL and just put the new light engines as being right in the middle. This may be off slightly by a ton on either direction, but it's going to give us a good approximation of what the available tonnages will be with a light engine. Now, this mech is 50 tons, so even with just a 255, we have a tweak speed of 88.8, which is enough in most circumstances. Like the 280 with anything is going to be 97.5. That's more than enough speed for a 50-tonner to maneuver. So I honestly don't see this mech taking more than the 255, the 280, maybe the 300. The 300 only if you are running a particularly light weapon loadout and you want to go fast in this thing. It's just not going to need it. The ability for it to take a 390 is only going to be working in like a very, very edge case. there's going to be a person that puts a 390 on it and likes to run around. It's only actually going to work as an XL, because light engines would be at minus 9.3%, and standard engines would be at minus 29%. So literally you can't fit a standard 390 or a light 390 with max armor. It would only be the XL 390, and you would only have 7 tons. So maybe if you're doing some sort of like really silly max speed with only a few medium lasers, okay. But overall, I foresee this mech having a 255-280 for its engine rating. But to pop back to the page here real quick, if I go back up to the top, when it comes to the engine choice, we have to look at its design here, because we can see that it has very pronounced side torsos. Now, previously, this would be something where I'd say, oh, well, this makes it XL dangerous, so we're going to go with the standard. But we have a new choice. With the 3060 tech, we have light engines, which allow us to have the same durability as a Clan XL. We can lose our sides before we die, with some weight savings compared to a standard. So, if we pop back to the spreadsheet warrior, we're going to be focusing on the light engine here, with appropriate sort of 255, 280, somewhere around there. We are going to take Endo, but not Pharaoh, because Pharaoh would take too many crit slots, and therefore we're going to end up with around 21.5 tons for a 255 light and 19 tons for a 280 light. Those are sort of the majority of the builds I've designed fit for those two engines. And it's going to give the mech really good durability, plus decent speed, and an okay loadout. It's not going to be absolutely crazy, but it's 37%. It's good enough. So we're going to pop back here to the mech. We're going to roll down to the bottom, and let us go through the hard points on each one of these and give some example builds. So the Uziel 3S is the one that you're going to get is the collectors. The first 3 here are the standard package. The next 2 are the reinforcements, and the Belial, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that, is the hero. So let's go through them. For the 3S, we have 4 energy across the mech, 1 ballistic in the right torso, and 1 missile in the center torso. The 2S, we have a total of 3 energy across the mech, all in the arms, 2 ballistic, 1 in each side torso, and then a missile in the center torso. The 3P has 2 energy, 1 in each side torso, has 3 ballistic, 2 in the right arm, 1 in the left arm, and 1 missile in the center torso. Into the reinforcement packages, the 5P has an energy in the left arm and the center torso, a missile in each side torso, and 2 ballistics in the right arm. The 6P has, let's see here, 6 energy, just spread across the mech, 2 in each arm, 1 in each side torso. And the hero has 4 energy, 2 in each arm, and 2 missile, 1 in each side torso. So let's go over some example builds that several of these mechs can do, because I never really want to give like this one single mech can do this one build. It should give things that can be done on multiple of the different variants, just to give an idea of what people will do, because of course there's going to be hundreds of other designs that I won't cover here. The first one that I could think of was Pop-Tarting, some kind of dual PPC. Now, we do have the new snub nose, and I'm not sure if we'll be using those or if we're just using regular PPCs, but we can do it on any mech that has a pair of energy hardpoints. More efficiently on a mech such as the 3P with energy in its side torsos, you can actually reclaim 1 ton per stripped arm of armor. So we could do something like 2 PPCs, 2 to 4 jump jets, depending on how many you want to take, 3 to 4 double heat sinks, again, depending on how many jump jets you take, you have to take away a little of those double heat sinks, and you can fit it with both a light 255 or a light 280. It all depends on the amount of heat sinks you want to take and the mobility and the jump jets. But you can make a dual PPC pop-tarting work. And the hard points for these things are very high. They're really high in the side torsos. And that will allow you to do a little jump up. As soon as you can see it, pull the trigger. It's going to play a lot like a Hunchback 2CA. And I think it's going to be really strong. Another thing you can do is a pair of rotary autocannon 2s, which, again, if you have it in the arms, if you have it in the torsos, you can get a little extra weight out of your arms, which probably be useful with rack 2s in terms of ammunition counts. So something like the 2S here with pair ballistic in each side torso, or you could just do things like the 3P with the ballistics in the arms in case you wanted to move them around, or even the 5P with both ballistics in the same arm, and then you can dead side with the left side. But you can do this with 2 rotary autocannon 2s, a jump jet just for a little bit of mobility. We can strip the arms, depending on which mech we're in, for an additional 1 or 2 tons, depending on how many arms you strip. Then if you do strip the arms, you can get more tonnage. You can get like 6 tons of ammo. If you don't, depending on how much you do, you can maybe get like 4 to 6 tons. And also you can choose to have a light 280 or a light 255 to maneuver that weight around if you want to go a little bit slower but have more ammo or jump jets. This would be really cool mech. The rotary autocannons are going to be a fun piece of tech, and just having a pair of those to sort of peek over the edge of something and just rotary AC into somebody is going to leave a lot of cockpits shaken, and I think it'll be quite fun. Of course, there'll be other ballistic designs you could do with, say, 1 large ballistic in a side torso and some energy, but you guys can figure those out yourselves. Another one I thought of was a pair of MRMs, and we can do this both on the 5P here because it has a missile in each side torso, and the Hero with its missile in each side torso. So this would be a pair of MRM 20s. So that's a total of 40 damage when you pull that trigger. 1 jump jet, 4 to 6 tons of ammo. Totally depends on how much battlefield longevity do you want to have. Are you a pilot that tends to be more aggressive and die early and not use all your ammo? You can take less. Or if you're a more cautious pilot and you tend to go through your ammo, you can take a bit more. Because you have the ability to do this primarily in the side torsos here, you could strip arms for an additional 2 tons, and then you could take backup lasers, to say. For the 5P, you could put the MRM-20s, 1 on each side, and then like a heavy medium, that's clan stuff, an ER medium laser in the center torso, so that you can have that little bit of extra damage when you run out of ammunition. And then again, a light 280 or a light 255, it varies the amount of heat sinks and ammo you carry with the mech. But yeah, those are some example builds. Overall, I think the mech is going to be a pretty good workhorse of a mech. It's going to have a lot of decent designs. But let's take a look at the art of it and look at its hardpoints and hitboxes. We kind of already touched on this, but first thing I want to go over is that, you know, we've already said this. The side torsos are fairly large and easily pronounced, so I'm concerned about XLs. Thankfully, we now have lights, so I'd say that you basically have to get a light for the Uziel. It has good mobility for 50 tons, considering its high engine rating, and also these torso mounts are so high. Look at that; they're above the cockpit. Same with the missile mount. And if you look at the arms, if it wasn't pointing down into the ground, the arms are in line with the cockpit. So if you can see it, every single one of your weapons can hit it, which is very, very good for this mech. Some concerns I do have about the art here is this protruding center torso cockpit area. How much of CT is this? is this little part here on the side torso, or is that CT? It might be pretty easy to CT this mech. You shoot for the little missile thing here, you shoot for the center, and you just drop it. Maybe, we don't know. But I'd really love to see the hitboxes for this first. And also, it suffers a little bit from what I like to call the Stormcrow syndrome, which its cockpit is lower than its top of its torso, so that you could feel like you're in cover. You can't see the opponent, but your little missile rack here could be poking out, and the enemy could be shooting you. So that's something to be aware of when running a mech like this, is you're going to have to go a little bit further back into cover. Once you feel that you're in cover, take an extra step or two so that you're fully in cover. But yeah, overall, I really enjoy this mech. I think it's going to be quite strong. I actually don't see any real issues in terms of power creep or anything like that with the different variants between them for like pay to win or pay to optimize. Really, what you can do down here, there's only like one unique thing that you have to pay a little bit money for, and that's to do a couple missiles. But you can do easily viable builds in the standard package without having to purchase reinforcements or the hero. And there isn't any particular piece of equipment or anything that would make it so that you'd have to purchase them either. So that's very good. I like the mech. I'm going to be getting it myself, and look forward to it coming out. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting.